Os. Welcome UNLV students to the Shotokan Karate Studies program. By now you should know you've already warmed up, you've gotten the warm-up that you feel your body needs, you're adequate for starting the program this morning. So let's go ahead and get started with our typical, quick, general warm-up. Ready? And Hajime. Ichi. Ni. San. Yon. Go. All right, warmed up good there. Let's turn to the side, bring our heels to our glutes. Good, all right. Let's go ahead and do some high knees as well. Get my workout recorded, here we go. High knees. You can do this slow, just like I'm doing. Again, just bringing your knees up. You can do it fast if you feel like kind of bouncing a little bit, working your calves a little bit. Or if you want to go slow, go slow. And yame. All right, let's come up on our toes, stretching out our calves. And yame. Very good. All right, let's go ahead and do some body hip twists. And yame. Good. Arm up, across the side, stretching out our shoulder. Good, other side. Again, don't hold these too long. Just doing dynamic stretches here. Nothing too static, nothing being held for too long. Switching over. Other side. Good. Feet just widen shoulder width. Go down, touch the floor. Go to the right. Back to center. Go to the left. Back to center. All right, make that a little wider. We're gonna go down to the right, turning up on our left heel, stretching out our hamstring. Good, now we're gonna turn to the left in a long front stance. Pushing on the quad here, pushing the knee over the toe. And down to a runner stand, or a runner stretch. Good. Back up. All right, we're gonna do everything to the other side now. Leaning to the left onto the right heel. Toes pointed up. Stretching out your hamstring. All right, let's rotate that all the way around. Good front stance, long, deep, pushing on the quad, pushing the knee out over the toe, getting a good stretch. Transition that into a runner stretch. And come back to center, come back standing. Good. Turn around, fix your gi. Back to me. Yoi. Subirachi. Free. Yoi. Seiza. Dojo-kun. 一つ、人格完成に人を盛ること。一つ、誠の道を守ること。一つと力の精神を養うこと。一つ、礼儀を重んずること。一つ、景気の湯を戒めること。Ready? That's it. よい。しばらくち。Ready? よい。So in today's class, this is a beginner class, right? This is Heian Sandan Part 2, alright? So we're going through the tutorial. I'm teaching you the kata Heian Sandan, alright? So again, last week we did a beginner class where we went through Part 1, which basically covered Section 1 and Section 2. So today we're going to cover Section 3 and Section 4, where we're going to actually end the kata. And then we're going to go through the kata a couple of times just to make sure we have it down pretty well. All right, so to start, let me go through the entire kata again. So I'll go through it at a somewhat slow pace. I'm not going to go through it very quickly. I'm also not going to go through it by the numbers, and I'm not going to go through it narrating. All right, so I'm just going to go through the kata so you can see the entire kata from beginning to end. And then we'll go back over Section 1 and 2 very quickly so that we can actually go through and teach Sections 3 and Section 4. All right, so that said, let's go ahead and do the kata. Again, this is not something I expect you to follow along. This is just something that you can reference so you can understand what we're doing for the remainder of the class. Get a quick reminder of what we're doing for the beginning, so you'll kind of be following me with Section 1 if you want. But really, this is just a guide so that you understand what the entire kata looks like, so you know where we're picking up and leaving off as we go through, okay? All right. Handsome. Hey. Okay, so there's the kata. Again, I do take a correction step, and my apologies for not letting you know that in advance. There's a quick correction step that I take right before I end, so right before I get into Section 4. So to compensate for that, I try to start a little bit further ahead here, all right, which might put me out of frame for my turn, but that's okay. I'll start the kata maybe here or on this side just so you can get another perspective on going through the kata. All right, so let's go through Section 1 and 2 very quickly so that you can get caught up from last week. All right, hopefully you know this part, Section 1 and 2. If you don't, please go back and watch that previous video where we go through and we actually teach Section 1 and Section 2. So go through this with me. I will announce or narrate this portion of the kata, so Section 1 and 2. I'll narrate what we're doing. All right. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and start here. And I'll just step to here. Okay. So we're here. We go through protocol. Back to yoi. Announce kata. Heian Sandan. Right. And now we're going to turn with our uchi-uke in a kokutsudachi back stance. Stepping up, knees bent, this double block. 1, 2. Turning uchi-uke here. Stepping up, double block, this uchi-uke and Geidan Barai. Stepping out, Maroto Uke, back stance. Nukete, front stance. Now someone has grabbed our arms, so we're going to twist towards them, ending in kibidachi with a back fist or a hammer fist. Looking at your opponent this entire time. Moving forward, kibidachi, front stance, oizuki punch. Twisting up in a corkscrew to get to this position. Okay? This koshi gamai. Alright, so we're up and we're in this position. Our fists are just above our belt. We're resting right upon our belts. Our feet are together. And we're kind of in this shape here. Alright, so from the side, it looks like this. From the back, like this. And from the front, like this. Alright, standing and relaxed. Okay, so that's section 1 and section 2. Section 1 is just this small section here where we're turning with our uchi-uke and our uchi and Geidan, uchi-Geidan, turning again with our uchi-uke, Geidan, uchi. Section 2 is where we actually turn with our Maroto Uke, our Nukete, twisting, turning to this hammer fist, to the Oizuki punch, and then back up as we corkscrew up to that Koshi Gamai where we're standing with our fist on our belts. Alright? That's section 1 and 2. So you should know those two sections pretty well by practicing from last week. Alright, so now we're going to pick up from this beginning, or this Koshi Gamai. Alright, so we're standing here in this position. Now we've already gone through 1 and 2, so typically I'm standing up there, but I want you to see me as I walk toward you here. Alright, so we're standing in this position. And what you're going to perform here is kind of a leg check. At the same time, it's a stomping kick. Alright, so like a fumakomi, as you come down and stomp and land in kibidachi. Alright, so come up, leg check, down, good kibidachi stance. Alright, and now you're going to do an MP uke. Alright, what's MP? MP is an elbow strike. Well, MP means elbow, but instead of an MP uchi, which is an elbow strike like this is an MP uke. So this is an elbow block where you're just twisting out. Okay? Let's think about that, what's happening there. Alright, if I punch and you do that MP uke, it's a deflection of the fist moving out to the side. And again, another deflection, and again, another deflection. Okay, so what's happening there is, because you repeat this 3 times, 1, you rotate sides. Okay, so what's happening is that stomping kick, that fumakomi, which would rake down their shin. At the same time, the punch comes in, and you're deflecting it, and then striking down with the back fist, and uraken uchi. Okay, so again, from here, just so we're clear, it's here, leg check, stomp to the MP uke, from the MP uke, back fist. Hands come back to your belt, repeat on the other side. Up, down, block, strike. Okay, and then one more time, let me just get room. Okay, so again, now you're using your back leg to come up with leg check, kick, or fumakomi, come down, landing in kibidachi, block, strike. Okay, 3 in a row, just 1, 2, 3. So from here again, 1, repeat, again. All right, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, I'm gonna do that from the side, and I'm gonna do it from the other side as well. I want you to get perspective on both so that you kind of understand exactly what's happening here. So again, it is a leg check, fumakomi, as you come down with the leg stomp, landing in kibadashi, so your feet should be parallel. All right, so your feet should be just like this. All right, not out like this. This is shikodachi. You want to be in kibadashi, so your feet together, like this, parallel. All right, hands would be on your hips. Again, the punch is coming, it's deflected, opening them up for that back fist to the face. All right, so again, as your opponent is coming in, it's blocked, their shin is raked or their foot is stomped, right? And then they get a back fist to the face. Happens again. Deflection, rake, back fist. And again, the kick comes first, so their foot is stomped on. As they punch, that's deflected, and they get a back fist to the nose. All right, 3 times in a row, you're backing them up. All right. All right, so let's go for this side, so you can see it. Again, starting here, this is the start of section 3. Hands on your hips, or fists on your hips, I should say. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And now an oizuki punch. So you come together, your hands, your right under your left over your right, to there. And now you're going to move from this position to a front stance oizuki punch. Aye. Okay? That's what that entire section is. And it's a pretty long section as far as distance covered. Okay, you could probably shorten by doing shorter kibadashi stances, but try to keep them as long as you can. I know that, again, like I said, it covers a lot of distance, but that's okay. All right, so I'm not trying to make this a compact kata. So in all fairness, you should be practicing good long kibadachis as deep as you can get. Now this isn't very deep in my opinion, but this is about as deep as I can go. Okay, so that's where both your Mpiuke and your Uraken Uchi come in. All right. That last one is a pivot. Okay, so this is going to be your back foot. You're going to step with your left from here. Oizuki punch. Center, right? Oizuki punches are going to be chudan level, unless otherwise noted. Chudan level, center of the body. All right, so that last one, there's your check, or there's your block, your strike. Hands come together and across the body, out, and now you're going to step oizuki punch. Relax. Okay? It's not a ki point, so I know I did that there, but it's not a ki point. Okay, so don't worry about that. Oizuki punch. All right, that's section 3. All right, let's do it again from this side so we can make sure we have it down pretty well. And we'll practice it a couple times. We'll do 1, 2, and 3. Then we'll start learning 4. All right, let's go from here. All right, make sure you have room. We're going to be doing that long kibadachi, right? Okay, so hands on your hip, fists on your hips or right above your belt. Starting with your right leg. Okay, always with your right. Ready? Each. Knee. Sunk. Cross. Out. and yame. All right. All right, so like I said, it covers a big distance here. All right, those 3 big steps with the kibidachi. And that's why I typically have to take a correction step here, okay? Because I usually end up very close to this when I go from here. I don't have room to do a full step for that oizuki. So I do a kirikiashi, a correction step where I don't actually take a step, I just replace my feet. So from here, I would do that and my oizuki punch. All right. So if you find yourself in a situation where you don't have a lot of room, just remember you can do a correction step as much as possible. I know it's very difficult to do that with section 3 because there's really not a way to do that correction, right? I mean, if you're having to come up and go into this, I guess you could step back and step forward to do that, and then back. All right, that's going to take up as little room as possible if you're limited on space. You can potentially find a way. Instead of stepping forward, okay, from here after you perform your first one, instead of stepping forward, step back. Okay, then you're pretty much in the same spot. Step back. All right, but make sure that you're landing in kibidachi. Okay, and how are we doing that? You want to land on the ball of your foot. Okay, so from any of those positions, you're basically coming back to here, up, land on the ball of your foot, twist your heel out. All right. Then you're doing it again, right? So this comes back, this comes up, and on the ball of the foot, push the heel out. Okay. And that's going to come in as a big part of kata later. Obviously, Heian Sandan doesn't have kibidachi. Heian Nidan doesn't either, right? So Heian Sandan, this is the first kata where you're actually getting into kibidachi, and it's important that you understand that you have to keep your feet parallel in this stance. All right. Try to avoid as much as possible that the feet out like this in a shikodachi. All right. It starts to look a little bit sloppy as you start going through these kata, especially if you're going into competition or anything like that. You want to make sure that your kibidachi is good. All right, practice kibidachi, practice walking in kibidachi, practice stepping. Okay, come across your body, up and down. Okay, go back to the other direction, come up, make these steps, and make sure that your feet can land parallel. All right, practice that. That's why this is a beginner level. You really have to learn how to walk in all of these stances. All right, so we walk in front stance. All right, we learn how to do that. We're not bobbing our head, or we're not wobbling back and forth to step or getting offline or anything like that. Everything is very linear. Walking in kakutsudachi, back stance. Right, we learned to go there, kind of draw your toe out, and go into your back stance. Walking backward, again, your feet come together, your knees slightly bent as you come back into back stance. It's not up and down, right? This is part of walking in stance. Kibidachi is not this big up and down thing, right? Your knees are slightly bent, your head isn't bobbing up and down, and you're still walking in the stance, all right? This is just another stance to add to your toolbox. Okay, so make sure that you're able to use your tools properly. Practice using these tools so that you're able to execute them when you need to. All right. So let's go through now section 1, 2, and 3. All right. So that we make sure we understand how the 3 come together. Then we'll move on to section 4. Okay. All right. So we'll start here. Hopefully I'll have room. All right. So we go through protocol. All right, so let's start section 1. I'll walk us through it, I'll talk us through it. Ready? Ichi, uchi-uke. Ni, double block, uchi-uke, gate over eye. Uchi-uke, gate over eye. Turning. Stay in kakutsudachi back stance, uchi-uke. Double block. 1, 2, knees slightly bent, turning out, Maroto Uke, back stance, Nukete, front stance. All right, someone's grabbed our wrist, we're turning in, around, Kibidachi, hammer fist. Now, Oizuki punch, stepping forward. Ki right here at this point. Corkscrew up, turning back, the other direction. And then I'm going to step back just to make sure I have room. All right, this is section 3. Ready? Up, down, block, strike. Again, up, down, block, strike. And one more, up, down, block, strike. Hands across, out, Oizuki punch. Okay, that's sections 1, 2, and 3. Now I'm not going to talk us through it. All right, so now I want you to do it on your own. Let's go through section 1, 2, and 3. Okay, I'm going to start here, so you might see me make my correction step at the end of the section for the Oizuki punch, but I just want you to be aware, okay, because I'm going to go in this direction. Okay, so again, I'm not going to talk us through it. I will count, all right? So just listen for my count to make your next move. All right, we're not going to go very fast. All right, ready? Go through protocol. Yoi, Sudachi, Rei, Yoi. And now it's kata, Heian, Sandan, and each, ni, son, yon, go. Each, ni, son, ai, each, ni, son, ichi, ni. Yummy? Alright, very good. So, section 1, 2, and 3. I'm sorry I didn't warn you, but a 1 count for each of, from here, this is a 1 count. Alright, that's ichi, ni. Alright, that's a 1 count. Alright, so I'm not going to count each one of those, ichi, ni, san, because it should flow fairly quickly, right? It's not like Heian Sandan or Heian Shotokan where we go 1, 2, 3, right? This happens very quickly, okay? Once the, I'm going to turn, I have to turn toward you. This happens very quickly. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it happens so quickly that it's not 3 separate moves pretty much, it's all one big technique lumped together. Okay, so just remember that as you go through it. This is one big technique. And it should happen fairly quickly. So don't take it slow, okay? So what I don't expect is 1, 2, and then do it again. 1, 2, 3. Okay, don't go slow. It should all happen fairly quickly, all basically one quick motion, right? And think about as an attack from a defense. Okay, it wouldn't happen that slow, right? As someone is attacking, that punch comes in. You've stamped down, you've blocked the hand, back fist, okay? It happens very quickly. When they come and you see them coming towards you, you see the punch coming, down, deflection, strike, okay? Catch them by surprise. 1, 2, 3. Happens very quickly. Again, from here, okay? So practice that. Make sure that it happens fairly quickly. It doesn't have to be so fast that it's a blur. All right, I'm not asking you to be the Flash or anything, but it is 3 separate techniques. 1, 2, and 3, but it doesn't happen at a slow pace. All right. Now let's do it all, section 1, 2, and 3, on your own. All right. Your speed, your pace. Okay. I'll be here for moral support. I'm going to go through it myself, section 1, 2, and 3. I may go through it a little faster than you, so I'll give you a couple seconds when I'm finished to allow you time to finish. Okay. I will start. We'll start on this side. Okay. Let me step up a little bit. Okay. Ready? Hand Sandan your own speed and pace. All right, let's go through protocol together. Yodach, subach, right? Yola. And now it's kata. Heian, Sandan. Your own speed and pace. And hajime. All right, very good. Yame. All right, hopefully you made it through there. Everyone made it through in that amount of time. Okay, so I was able to make it through. A couple of seconds to give you some extra time, and then you should be wrapping it up as well. All right, so that's section 3. Now section 4, I know you probably looked at that and went, I don't know what that is that he was doing. Section 4 is different, right, for sure. When I perform it, I'm here. The Oizuki punch comes out. My right leg now comes up, and I step and turn with a punch at the same time. A punch up over your left shoulder with your right fist. All right. So again, it's here. Kibidachi. All right. Try to avoid the shikodachi. Kibidachi. Punch. And now a shift in this direction for another punch with your left hand over your right shoulder, still in Kibidachi. That's how you end the kata, and you stand back up to your yoi position. Okay? So that one is a little different, right? So you're basically folding into, so you've already done your punch, okay? Your opponent is standing here, and you are folding as if you're grabbing an arm, turning, punching in there, and moving back to the right with another quick punch over the shoulder. And look over your shoulder, all right? I've talked about this, well, maybe I haven't with you, but for Yushiro-geri, right, a back kick, you can't just stand here and kick back. You have to look at your target. You have to make sure that you're going to hit your target, right? You don't have a radar back there, so you can't keep looking forward and expect to do this kick and connect with your target. You have to look, okay? Look over the shoulder of where the action is happening. If I'm kicking with my right leg, I'm looking over my right shoulder. If I'm kicking with the left, I'm looking over the left. Same goes here. If I'm punching, I'm looking there. If I'm punching here, I'm looking there. All right? So a glance, a look as far as you can over each shoulder that you're actually executing that punch. All right? So make sure you're doing that. Section 4, not a long section. That's really it. All right? But you have to nail that turn. Okay? Doing a turn is not something new. I know that. But it is to land in a Kibidachi stance. Okay, so that's something that you have to work on. All right, so from the Oizuki punch, we're in our front stance, good wide front stance if that's what you feel is best. Okay, Oizuki punch, center. All right, now your right leg again comes up to your left knee. Your right foot should come up to your left knee, here. And then it plants itself, so it comes up to your knee, goes back down to plant itself, and now you do the spin on that foot. As you're spinning, you're building momentum for that right fist to come up over your left shoulder. One, left-handed hikite, and now you're going to shift, left over right shoulder, right hand goes to hikite, and you're in a good kibadachi stance. All right, I'll do that again. I'll face away. Oizuki punch. Right leg up to the knee, stand down and turn. Looking over. Shift, look over. All right, so the shift happens, it's however you would do a normal shift, right? If you're standing here in kibadachi, you're just taking a step over, maybe a foot. All right, so just, it's a very simple part, but it's easy to practice, so practice it. Okay, you're here, there. You're here, there. All right, and don't do what I'm doing. Actually look over your shoulder, okay? I'm looking at you because I'm talking to you, but kibadachi, okay? You're here, looking over your left shoulder, shift and move. Reset, 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 okay? And that is your final ki point. All right, when that left hand or that left fist comes up over your right shoulder and you land, your right hand comes to hikite, ki point. All right. So again, whatever guttural sound feels appropriate for you at this point, that's what you're making. All right, again, I've talked about this in the past. If you want to say ki, that's fine. In Japanese, you're basically saying yell. It's, you know, that's what ki is. So it's just basically going like this. Yell! I find it amusing that some people say ki at ki points because it is a scream or yell. So, but it really is just a release of strength and power. Okay, so whatever you feel is necessary at that point. So from here, okay. So that's how you're ending the kata. All right, so practice that. All right, practice that little section where you're just shifting. Okay, and I know I got a little bit ahead of myself, but that's definitely something that you can easily practice, is shifting and making sure that you stay and remain in kibadachi. Okay, shifting, shifting. So maybe if you just want to start with that, good. Shift to the right. Always start from the left, shift to the right. All right, add your punches. Looking here. All right, looking down every now and then, making sure that your feet are proper and you're remaining in a good kibadachi stance. All right, the other part, the more difficult part that you want to really focus on is that turn. Okay, again, from the Oizuki, your right foot comes up to your left knee, plants down as you turn. All right, that gives you a good momentum for the turn, for that spin. Okay, from here, you could just step to here and do the turn, but typically, I tell students, and I've always done it myself, all right, is from this punch, this leg comes up to help drive that spin. Okay, it works for me, it's worked for all my students in the past. So again, from the Oizuki, the foot comes up, down and around. So practice that. All right, practice that a lot, because that's a key point of this kata. All right, is that in that section 4. All right, so from that Oizuki punch. Okay. So again, like I said, section 4 is super short, right? But in my opinion, it's also very technical, and it's all brand new stuff, completely brand new, all right? And it's things that you've not done at all before, not one bit of it, right? This is not for section 4. You've done Oizuki several hundred times by now. What's new is this turn and spin, landing in kibidachi, this punching over your shoulder, shifting, punching over your shoulder, and again, the whole kibidachi stance in a kata is all different and all new for you. So you have to practice that ending section 4, all right, for this kata to look good or to look like it should and it be proper. Okay, so for today we learned section 3 and 4. All right, that's the end of the kata. Let's just go over section 3 and 4, and then let's put the entire kata together. I'll walk us through it, narrating as much as possible. Then we'll go by the numbers, and then you're going to do it on your own. Okay, so just section 3 and 4. Just section 3 and 4. So come up to here. All right, we've already finished section 1 and 2. Starting from here, I'm going to count us, and remember, 1 count. This is 1 count. All right, focus on good kibidachi throughout all 3 of these. So section 3 and 4. All right, so after the Oizuki punch, don't stop. Remember that you're bringing your right leg up to your left, swinging around for that right punch, and shifting for the left. Ready? Hands on hips, and each, knee, some, each, knee, some, stepping up. Okay, that end part right there. After this, you've made your ki point, you've stopped, good kime, 1 to 2 seconds. Draw your left foot up to your right as you stand. Okay. A couple things. One, it should put you basically where you started. All right, it depends on if you have to take that correction step or not. But like I've talked about with all of our other kata, for the most part, where you start your kata, you will end your kata within 1, 2, 3 feet at the most. For the most part, for I would say 80, 90% of your kata, where you start, you pretty much are going to end within 1 to 3 feet of where you started. Okay, that goes for this kata as well. All right, we start here, move here, move down the middle, and then we come back. We go here for that first one, shift for the second one, drawing your left foot to your right. You're pretty much in the same spot that you started. Okay? All right, so keep that in mind as well as you go through the kata. Right? If you start there and you end up here, you're doing something probably incorrect. Maybe you missed one of the one of these. Okay? Maybe. Maybe your kibidachi stance isn't deep enough. All right, maybe you're just kind of standing up like this. That's 1, 2, and 3, right? You're not deep enough to get you back to that beginning point. All right, so make sure your stances are deep enough that you're actually looking like a good karateka, okay? A good student who's actually learned and understand what these stances feel like and what they actually look like, okay? All right, so that's section 3 and 4. I feel like you have it down pretty good. Okay, let's go through the entire kata. All right, I'll try to narrate as much as possible. Go through the entire kata together. Okay. I won't necessarily count. We'll count on the next one. So for this one, I'll just try to narrate as much as I can as we go through the entire kata. So go through it with me. Let's start here. Okay, ready? Sudachi, Rei, Yoi. Announce kata, Heian, Sandan, and Hajime, Uchiuke, double block, turning, Uchiuke, double block, Rotouke, Nukete, turning, hammer fist, Oizuki punch, Kiai, twisting, standing up, and Ichi, Ni, Son. Cross your arms, coming out to mark your target, Oizuki punch. Ay! Not a ki point. Right foot up to left knee, stepping down, turning, look, look. Left foot to right, bow out, and look where we started and look where we stopped. Okay? So again, kind of the point of what I was saying before. All right? So, very good. I know I counted that one section, but it really is legitimately the best way to get through it at the right pace. Okay? Because again, those moves come quick. 1, 2, and 3. They come quick. And then let me touch on this one part again. So after the third one, right, you're still in Kibidachi. 1, 2, 3. You're standing here like this. Cross. Looking at your opponent. Hand out. Okay, it's as if you're getting ready to grab their gi. Right here. They grab their gi. And then move forward, pushing at the same time that you decide to make that Oizuki punch. And it's not a ki point, but every time I do it, I feel like there's a good release of energy there, a release of your ki, and so I tend to make the noise there a little bit, and it's okay, right? You can add extra ki points, but don't miss the ki points where they're supposed to be. If you make 1, maybe 2 extra sounds because you're kind of going through the kata, it's okay. I wouldn't recommend it for competition, certainly, but if you're in the moment and you feel it's right, go with your gut. Go with how you feel, all right? And typically at that section, because I've harnessed energy here, I breathe in, out as I mark target. It, for whatever reason, feels right to. It doesn't have to be big. Again, you know, it's not a ki point, so it doesn't have to be anything. But typically, I let out a little bit of something there for that punch before we move into the 2 Kibidachi punches over your shoulder. Okay, this time by the numbers, so I'm just going to count. All right. Each count means we're doing something, and then we're going to go through at your own speed and pace. Okay, I will start here this time. Let's see how well this goes if I have to make my correction step. All right, ready? Yoi, Sudachi, ready? Yoi. All right, keep in mind where you start. By the numbers, so on my count, announce kata, Heian, Sandan, and Hajime, Ichi, Ni, Son, Yon, Go, Ichi, Ni, Son, Ai, Ichi, Ni, Son, Yon, Ichi, Ni, Son, Shi. And Yame. All right, should have finished when I finished because we counted that whole kata. All right, so that's it. Okay, that's the entire kata from beginning to end, Heian, Sandan. Okay, if you still have questions, go back through the class. Rewind to the part where you have your question. See if I answer your question. If I've not answered your question, leave it down in the comments so that I can address any questions that come up. All right, let's go through it one last time. Okay, this time your own speed and pace. Okay, everyone's own speed and pace. All right, so don't let that intimidate you. Just go with the flow. All right, if you have to glance up at the screen every now and then to see what's happening, do that. Okay, but at the end of this class, you should pretty much know this kata. All right, you've learned section 1 and 2. The only thing we did today was learn section 3 and 4, and 4 is very short. All right, it's just kind of technical. 3 is also pretty technical, I mean, to be honest, because that one move that you repeat 3 times is quick. You know, the MPUK, the Shotokan Uchi. All right, coming back up with that kick down, making sure that you're landing in kibidachi. All right, those are complex techniques, right? And they do take some time to learn and to get right, but practice. Okay, practice. Go through class 1, go through part 2 here until you really feel like you have it down. If you already have section 1 and 2 down, just come back to this class. You have 1 and 2 down. Let's focus on 3 and 4. Let's go through the kata a couple times, right? I think we've already gone through it 6 times, right? Okay, so let's go through it again. All right, one more time here at your own speed and pace. Okay. So again, my speed and pace may be a little bit faster than yours, and that's okay. All right. You know, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. Go slow, get smooth with it, and eventually speed will come. All right. Let's go ahead and do this. I'll start on this side. Again, just a different perspective for you. If you're watching, ready? Yoi. Sudachi, ready? Yoi. And now it's kata. Heian, Sandan. Your own speed and pace. Ready? Hajime. And yame. Okay, very good. That is the kata Heian Sandan. Okay, so again, if you have questions after class, leave them in the comments down below. If you're a beginner and you've gotten to this point, right, maybe at this point you want to look into earning real rank. Okay, if that is of interest to you, then please visit my website, Shotokan University Online, and join our dojo. Okay. Start earning real rank, all right, so that you can actually rank yourself up, get better and better at learning karate. You actually will be earning rank through the FSKA, which is the Funakashi Shotokan Karate Association. That's who we're affiliated with. So again, yeah, that's our affiliation, but you can, again, earn real rank, or go through actual real testing, where you actually have to go through and demonstrate a lot of what you've learned thus far as a beginner. Okay, let's come back to class. At our center of class, yoi, sudachi, right, yoi, seiza. All right, in today's meditation, go through the kata, beginning to end. Okay, mokuso. Bokuso yume, sensen yuri. Tate. Yoi. Subirachi. Rin. Yoi. Os. All right. Thank you, students, for joining me for this class. Part 2, learning the kata Heian Sandan. We'll see you in the next class.